In this video, we're going to be talking about the Chase Freedom Unlimited, which is a very popular credit card, but Chase is a little bit tricky on how they give out their credit cards. They have different rules and different things and different ways you have to go about it in order to get approved for their cards. If you are to try to get a Chase credit card, I would recommend you to start your journey off with the Chase credit cards due to the fact they have rules like the 524 rule and little things of that sort, to where if you are trying to get a lot of Chase cards, it's kind of hard to do that if you don't know the right way to do it. But in this video, we are going to focus on the Chase Freedom Unlimited, and I think it's a very good beginner card, but let me explain why. Let's get into it. Funny enough, when I actually started my credit card journey, I tried to get this card in particular. I actually tried to get this one and to discover it. And also I went for the Capital One card, which lucky enough, I did get the Capital One card, which I did a video on that, which you could check it out after this one. But I went for this card, the Chase Freedom Unlimited, and I did not get it because I didn't understand how Chase worked. So long story short is you have to make sure that everything is pretty much in line with Chase. If you haven't tried to get a bunch of credit cards, or you haven't attempted to try to build your credit in different ways, then Chase is still a good starting point. But if you're someone who has a lot of credit cards and you get them quite frequently, you have to be careful on how you apply for Chase credit cards. Chase does have a tool to where they can pre-qualify you, and the way they do it is you put your information in on that tool. They basically tell you the Chase cards you have the highest likelihood of getting approved for. Don't forget though, when you are pre-approved for a card, that doesn't necessarily mean that you actually got the offer. So just keep that in mind whenever you're applying for any kind of credit card. So I do want to start off with saying that this card I actually am a fan of, because you can consider this card a catch-all card, meaning you earn a decent amount of points on all purchases. This one is 1.5% on all purchases, which I think is good. But I do know there are cards out there where you get 2% cash back on all purchases, which is obviously better and I'm more of a fan of. But like I said, if you're a beginner and you do get approved for this card, I think this card is very good in that category. But why I do like this card, because it does have higher percentages on other categories. Let's talk about that. First and foremost, you get 3% cash back on dining at restaurants, and even if you take it out, and you also get that on eligible delivery services. So 3% cash back is already up there with some of the best credit cards that offer any kind of points for dining or even cash back. So you get the 1.5% on all purchases, but then you get 3% on dining. So I think that's a win. You also get 3% cash back on drugstores and 5% cash back when you use it through Chase Travel. And obviously with these higher cash back options, it makes the card even more valuable than that 1.5% cash back on all purchases. That's just a plus because it is a catch-all card, but if you use it in those categories, you get even more cash back. So for those people that use all those categories, obviously this is a no-brainer card. And currently at the time of filming this video, they are running a promotion for $200 whenever you spend $500 within the first 3 months of opening this card. And I'm not the biggest fan of sign-up bonuses. I say this on all of my credit card videos simply because typically whenever you're going for a sign-up bonus, you will spend out of your spending habits. So you would spend unnecessarily in order to hit that 500 within the 3 months. But with a sign-up bonus like this, where you have to spend 500 in 3 months, I don't know too many people that don't just naturally spend $500 within 3 months. So if you are one of those individuals who don't spend $500 in 3 months, then obviously I wouldn't even say worry about it. But for the majority of people that I know, or people over 18, that's how old you got to be to get a credit card in America. So if you do spend $500 naturally, then that is a very good sign-up bonus, which I would also say that that is a good targeted sign-up bonus for the majority of people. So an easy $200. Also, at the time of filming this video, they are offering a 0% intro APR for the first 15 months of account opening, and that's for purchases and balance transfers. But after that intro period, it then jumps up to 19.49%, up to 28.24%. So that will be the interest that will eventually start to accumulate on the card after that 15-month intro period. So basically what that means is after that 15-month intro period, you will start to accumulate interest, meaning if you do have a balance on your card and that balance isn't paid off within a timely fashion, then that interest will start to tack on to that balance. So just pay your balances off in full and you shouldn't have to worry about that. But the kicker for all of this is that this is a no annual fee card, meaning all the cash back that you accumulate with this card is your money. You don't have to worry about paying an annual fee at the end of the year that will then devalue the card. So say you were to accumulate $200 in cash back for the entire year, you don't have to pay a ridiculous annual fee like some cards do have on them. So basically what I'm trying to say, with it not being an annual fee card, this card is highly valuable to someone that can use all those perks. And on top of that, the cashback rewards for this card doesn't expire. So you can use them now, you can use them a year or even 2 years after you accumulate those points. And that's a good thing because some cashback offers does expire over time. It won't roll over to like the next year, or if they do it in year increments. But some credit cards are different, but this one in particular, it does not have an expiration date on your cashback earnings. And this card does have additional benefits such as zero liability protection, purchase protection, extended warranty protection, and you can check your credit score. You have fraud monitoring, auto rental coverage, trip cancellation and interruption insurance, and you also have travel and emergency assistance. And that's just some of the things you get with holding this card. So I do believe this card is extremely beneficial to individuals that have all these things that they need, or for people that use this card for these categories. That's a big thing. And obviously make sure you do your own due diligence whenever you're using this card to get the max value, and make sure you use it in the right categories, or it even offers this category deeper into the actual fine print. Because although you do get 3% cash back at drugstores, it may exclude certain places that you would assume are drugstores. So just little stuff like that that you have to make sure that you do your own due diligence on whenever you're using this card. And like I said, personally, I think this is a very good credit card. It was one that I really wanted in the very beginning, but unfortunately, I did not play the game properly. I didn't understand the credit card game like I understand it today. So if you're an individual just getting started, like I said, I would probably start off with Chase just to avoid some of the rules they have, and it'll kind of solidify your position in the Chase ecosystem. But if you're someone that already kind of got a few credit cards under your belt and you're a little worried that you might not meet all of Chase's rules, then there are other credit cards out there, and I've done plenty of videos on the channel. If you want to check them out, then you can check them out. And there are other cards you can definitely get approved for, especially if you got a good credit score and you always keep up with your credit factors all around and they are in good standing. But with that being said, I'll see y'all on the next one.